It's the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show. It is Wrestling Wednesday, and I am Keith Gibson, your host every Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. for the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show here on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. And joining me again this Wednesday, Unity Rockets wrestling coach, conference champion Unity Rockets wrestling coach, and Patton Trains, Logan Patton. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Hey, good morning, man. Thanks for having me again.
Boy, it was a big weekend for the Unity Rockets wrestling team, was it not?
Oh man, we've been on a tear for a little while. Yes, sir.
It was a good weekend. Let's talk about, though, before that, you guys were in Washington, right?
Yep.
Which is a fun meet for you guys. And where else were you?
Then we went to Sycamore after Washington.
That's right, yeah. So let's talk about those here this morning here as we start off the Clubhouse Cafe Wrestling Wednesday. Let's talk about Washington first.
Yeah, so Washington, they have this event called Dubtown Throwdown. This is the 8th year they've done this. They do this at their Five Points Theater. You know what I mean? So the stage is on a theater, kind of like our Virginia Theater here in Champaign.
Okay.
So it's in their theater. Each kid gets a walkout song, spotlights, kind of the WWE type of entrance we've talked about a little bit. Yeah, man, it was cool. And they try to highlight wrestling, try to make wrestling fun. And Coach Miller and I have been really good friends for a long time, and we finally got to make it happen with both our teams. And it was a cool event, man. Our kids loved it. They had a lot of fun getting to show their little personality and have them walk out songs and stuff like that. I think the event on the wrestling side of things, I mean, Washington's two-time defending state champions in 2A. Yeah, they're solid. And you can tell that they've done this event a couple times, right? Like they're looking forward to it. And a couple matches, I feel like we got a little bit big brothered. And a couple other matches, I thought our guys stepped up and wrestled really well. So it was overall, it was a great event. I can't thank Coach Miller in Washington enough for doing that for us. But then turn around and got to bounce back Saturday at Sycamore.
What was your favorite? Who had your favorite walkout song of the day?
So I'm gonna go with two. So Anna Vasey started the whole duel off, and she didn't know what song to pick. She's kind of a shy girl. She's very outgoing on the friendly side of things, but when it comes to social media or things like that, she's pretty shy about it. She goes, "Coach, I don't know what song to pick." I said, "Will you let me do it?" She goes, "Yeah, 100%. So her brother, who coaches our girls staff, and I let her walk out to Stone Cold Steve Austin music.
That's awesome.
And then the front row, it said Anna 316. So that one was my personal favorite because I got to pick that one and have a little fun with it. And she got it with a win. But I would say my favorite was Ian Skibby. He's our 113 pounder weighing in at 99 pounds. And he picked Bad to the Bone. And he's a 99-pound kid who's all skin and bones walk out to Bad to the Bone. I thought personality-wise, that was hilarious.
That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. And then the next day, you guys went to Sycamore.
Yeah, went up to Sycamore. 28 teams up in Sycamore. They added another 1A team, so we weren't the only 1A team this year. Can't hang our hats on that. And I thought the boys rebounded really well. Like I said, I felt like we got big brothered in some positions and some matches in Washington, and had a good team meeting once we got up to Sycamore, and it was a good business trip. Came out with a few champs, came out as second place, and only lost to Normal Community, who's a 3A team. They ended up winning it, and I thought we competed well and got to see what we needed to see.
Fantastic. So it was a good weekend overall.
Yeah, man, we enjoy those weekends, enjoy those matches. Up at Sycamore, it's kind of a different type of tournament where they place through 28. So it's a 28-man bracket. They wrestle through scramble styles. So to have some champs and have some mat time with all our guys up there, it was a great weekend.
Fantastic. You'll stick around all morning with us here on Wrestling Wednesday. We've got Logan Patton, Unity Rockets wrestling coach, and Logan trained head of man of all jack of all trades. We're going to talk some football later, too, if that's all right with you.
100%. Yes, sir.
Fantastic. All right, we're going to take a quick break, get you back to music. We'll be back here on the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show in just a bit on Clubhouse217.com. This is the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. I am Keith Gibson, your host, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every single morning during the week. With me today is Coach Logan Patton, Unity Rockets wrestling coach. Logan Patton trained. He's a jack of all trades. He's a football coach. He's a wrestling fan. He's a wrestling coach. And, Coach, you had a good weekend last weekend, but an even better one this past weekend because you are conference champions once again.
6 in a row. 6 in a row. Yeah. It was a great weekend. It was a great weekend for our boys. It's a great weekend to kind of defend our titles. These guys look forward to this weekend every year. Just kind of building off that unity culture that we've had, and just trying to keep that title at home.
And it was nice. It was nice to bring those home in.
100%. It's 100%. It's nice to see after the gauntlet schedule that we have that the hard work pays off.
And you guys were pretty dominant from the scores I saw. It was a pretty dominating performance by the Rockets.
Matches wrestled, so we had a couple forfeits with kids with injuries or out with the flu and stuff like that. So we gave up a couple forfeits. But matches wrestled, we went 60-6. So we only lost 6 matches and 7 duels. It was a cool weekend.
That's pretty good, Coach. That's pretty good winning percentage.
Yeah, it was a great winning.
What was your highlight from the weekend, though?
Oh man, there was some good stuff. It was nice to see our guys compete. It was nice to see our guys go out there and battle, and some guys that's been having a rough season go undefeated or win some matches. For our seniors to go out and have 4 straight, that was a great highlight. It was kind of different for me, to be honest with you. So the last 2 years we've had state finals matches. Hunter Easton versus Brody Cuppernell, Nick Nosler versus Brody Cuppernell, and I think the most anticipated match of the weekend was 2 football guys with Jaden Dean and Cam Wagner. You know what I mean? Two football guys. Cam's a highly touted, highly touted Division I route. Jaden Dean's going to go play college football. He hasn't made his commitment yet. He's actually on some visits right now as we speak. So hopefully he comes out with his decision here soon. But yeah, 2 football guys at heavyweight, that was pretty anticipated matchup for not being wrestling guys.
That's pretty awesome too. Yeah, you got 2 linemen going head to head.
That's right, man. That's right. And it is excited to see. I remember the Tristan Wirth, video going around Iowa versus Aaron Costello. Aaron Costello ended up wrestling for Iowa, and Tristan played football at Iowa. So it's kind of cool to see. In my mind, I was like, could this really be something that, later on down the road that you see Cam Wagner playing in the NFL or even big time football that him and Dean got to go scrap it out.
That's always fun. I love when the big guys get to scrap it out. It's like a big guy catching an interception and trying to run it back. That's the fun part of it. All right, we're gonna get a lot more to cover this morning with you, Coach. We're gonna take a break, get back to the music, and then we'll come back and we'll talk some more wrestling. What you got on the agenda coming up soon? We're gonna talk some football too, because a lot of changes for you and your staff for the Unity Rockets. So we'll do that. We're gonna get you back to music now. You're listening to the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. It's Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show here on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. I'm Keith Gibson, your host, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Thank you for joining us this morning on Wrestling Wednesday. And we're going to talk wrestling, but we're going to talk a little football right now, too, because we've got Coach Logan Patton. He is the Unity Rockets wrestling coach, but he's also assistant coach for the Unity Rockets football team. And, Coach, thank you for joining us, as always.
Sir.
I love these Wrestling Wednesdays because I'm probably going to talk maybe a little pro wrestling too later.
That's perfect.
Yeah. But hey, let's talk a little. There's a lot of change happening for the Unity Rockets football team, and Coach Hamilton stepping down, retiring after 31 years. Legacy that will live forever.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
And amazing what he has done at that program, at that school, and not just a coaching standpoint, but also as AD and a teacher as well. So we want to give our best to him and his family as well. I can't imagine how probably relaxed he is a little bit now too. But for you guys, you've got a new head coach, and that is
Tony Reitz. Tony Reitz, our offensive coordinator, is getting the call up.
And that's exciting because the offense he's done a fantastic job with the offense.
Yeah, he has. And it was something cool, when he announced it, I didn't realize he's only the 7th head coach in Unity history.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool little stat. You kind of follow, you know what I mean? I know Scott's been there for 31 years, Coach Somerville, Coach Hicks, you know what I mean? I know those 3 names. Coach Somerville was actually a wrestling coach and a football coach, so I got a little bit of history with him, and Coach Hicks's daughter lives right behind me, so I know that history. So it's cool that I'm already ingrained in this Unity history, in 8 years. But Tony being the 7th head coach is a pretty cool stat.
And his offense that he's ran has been so consistent and one of the most high-powered offenses in the area, in the state, really. Yeah. Let's be real, and he's already ingrained in that as well. And I think it's a great fit for the Rockets. and he's got a lot of returning players coming back, a lot of offense coming back, a lot of defense coming back, and the Rockets had a great year. And so Coach Hamilton left it in great hands, but he's also left with a lot of talent as well.
100%. I think that just shows Coach Hamilton's character. You know what I mean? Like he could have come back for his 32nd year. He could come back to get 300. You know, he's 9 away from 300. He could come back and do all this, but kind of leaving the program without the cupboard being bare. And I'm not saying it's going to be bare after this class. And I just
it's never bare. We won't
go
back.
Never bare. But the hype around this junior class and everything that's coming back, I think what a great dude to leave that for Coach Reitz and the staff. That hey, listen, you know, I know it's hard to be the guy following the guy. You know what I mean? So let's make sure that everything is set for you to have a successful season and a successful career.
And Coach Hamilton has done that, and without a doubt, and kudos to him for doing that. And he's put Coach Reitz in a wonderful position to be successful in year one.
Yep.
And so it's exciting to think what comes next fall. And he does. You've got Dane coming back as a quarterback, and a lot of key returning starters, and it's just going to continue. Just the train's just going to keep rolling. Let's be honest.
That's exactly it. That's the plan, man. The Unity train keep rolling.
Now let's talk about your role. Because a lot of people know you're the wrestling coach. Your role in the football program.
So for the football side of things, I am the defensive coordinator for the freshmen. So I have nothing to do with our offense at all, varsity or freshman-wise. Coach Striegel runs the freshman. He's the head freshman coach, and he runs the offense. And I just get to pick a couple plays or trick plays here now and then.
Get to have the fun part.
Yeah, man. I'm just his eyes. I stay in front. And it's actually funny because in the varsity games, I stay in the same spot with Coach Reitz and kind of pick his brain so we can piggyback that with our freshmen. But I'm a freshman D coordinator, and then I'm a varsity D lineman coach. And that's been my role for 8 straight years. When I got here, Coach Hamilton, you know, hey, how do you want to help? What do you want to do? The first year I didn't do the freshman because I just kind of want to learn his system. But I've been with the D linemen the entire time, and majority of them have been wrestlers. I feel like if I got to CJ Langendorf maybe a little sooner, I know his love is basketball, but man, that dude is an
He's a beast.
Hammer. He's a hammer, man. He does awesome things, and I love him. And whatever he can do, I watch more basketball because of him. Let's just put it that way. I've watched a lot more. He had a nice little buzzer beater last weekend.
He did at Tuscola.
Yep. So I watch a lot more basketball because of him. But I coach our D linemen and get to implement what we need from Coach Fink as our D coordinator and on down.
Fantastic. Well, I look forward to another great season of Unity Rockets football coming up. Let's take a quick break, get you back to the music, and then we'll be back with Coach Logan Patton, and we'll talk some more wrestling, and both on the mat and in the ring, here on the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. It's the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show. It is Wrestling Wednesday with Coach Logan Patton, the Unity Rockets head football coach, the conference champion Unity Rockets wrestling team. Coach Patton, thanks for joining us again this Wednesday. We enjoy having you. We've talked even a little football today with you earlier this morning, but let's get back to wrestling. That's what it's all about. And you've got some kids with some milestones on the wrestling team this year. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So junior Abe Davidson just hit 100 wins this past weekend at conference. That's a big deal. We have a 100-win board in our room, you know, so that's one of the milestones that these kids see from kindergarten all the way through their senior year of what they're trying to hit.
That's pretty impressive. He's a junior, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's 100 wins. That's 100 times that he's won a duel, right?
Yeah, 100 times he's any match. So in a tournament, in a duel, any time that he wrestled in a Unity singlet or in high school, he goes out there and gets his hand raised. So no off season counts for that. As an IHSA event, he goes out there and gets his hand raised. Yep.
That's pretty impressive, Coach.
Yeah. He's put in a lot of work. He's starting to see the fruition pay off. You know, you got to come out and as a junior, you got to think if you could win 20-some matches, you know, kind of get a little head start at 25, something like that. Now you're hitting 30-some in, you know, your sophomore and junior season, you know, 30 plus, almost 40.
How many times do these kids wrestle a year?
So now with the new IHSA rules, you get 45 matches before the state series.
Okay.
So you can wrestle 45 matches. Now we overbook that. So if you can have sit outs or if there's forfeits, I can set that out. So you get 45 matches before the state series.
So he can wrestle up to 45 times a year.
Correct.
On average, how many times do these guys wrestle a year?
Probably 40 roughly we kind of overbook, but then you have snow days and things like that. So normally 40 before going into the state series. State series is normally about 3 matches a weekend if you can make it that far through the state.
So that's, say 120.
Yep.
Total. And this junior year is not even done yet.
Yep.
That's impressive. I mean, you're winning 95% of your matches.
Correct. Yeah. He's going out there winning some big matches and going out there and winning against some tough dudes.
That's impressive, man. I am kudos to him. Congratulations. And you've got a couple guys on the cusp of doing some other milestones as well. And we'll get to that here a little later on in the morning, but we're going to get you back to the music right now. You're listening to the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show with Coach Logan Patton on Wrestling Wednesday on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. It is Wrestling Wednesday on the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show. I am Keith Gibson, your host, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. And with me on Wrestling Wednesday is Unity Rockets head wrestling coach, assistant football coach, and one hell of a nice guy. That's Logan Patton. Coach, thanks for joining us. I'm glad you're back here this second Wednesday. And we're just going to keep the train rolling on Wednesdays. How about that?
That's the plan, man. Let's make Wrestling Wednesday a hot topic.
I love it. Let's. We've talked. Hey, congratulations on the conference championship. We talked about that earlier in the morning.
Yes, sir.
We've talked a little football, some changes in the Unity Rockets football program, and congratulations to Coach Reitz on taking over the position as head football coach. And of course, we wouldn't be part of the station of Unity Rockets football without Coach Hamilton either. And so we appreciate him wholeheartedly, without a doubt. But you've got some milestones that have happened. Mr. Davidson has 100 wins.
100 wins.
That's crazy, man. And he's not even through his junior year. But we got some other kids, other guys on the milestone watch. Who we got?
Yeah, Hunter Shike's knocking on the doorstep. He's sitting at 99 wins as a junior, so he's right there. It's kind of a nice little rivalry with those guys going.
They push each other a little bit on that, too, don't
yeah,
they?
Man, and it's cool. That's what I love about this sport. So you have Hunter Shike. I tell you he's 5'5", but he may be just a little bit taller than 5'5", 132-pounder. You've got Abe Davidson, who's probably a 6 foot, 165-pounder. You know what I mean? And these guys can have a little rivalry in a position. It's not like a running back and a receiver or a lineman and a receiver. Right. Like these guys can have the same type of goals and be totally different positions, for lack of better terms.
Yeah, that makes total sense. What else you got on the milestone watch?
Caden Inman, man, he's knocking on the doorstep to be the Unity's all-time wins leader. Nick Nosler, 150 plus.
Wow.
In the 150s. Nick Nosler was an absolute stud for us. He's wrestling at SIU Edwardsville right now. He's in the lineup as a freshman doing great things. He's got a winning record right now, state champ for us. But Caden's knocking on that doorstep of being the next guy to wear the crown.
So 150 wins. That's just shy of 40 a year.
40 a year, yep.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's nuts. And you got to think, too, man, Nick did it with the COVID year.
And do you even think about, I want to throw this at you real quick. Do you ever think that you're the guy that's leading the charge on this? You realize that, right?
Yeah, I realize that, but it's not me. It's not me. It's these guys, man. These guys put the work in. They do the right things. And I'm just trying to help them achieve their goals. You know what I mean? Like they got to put the work in. They got to win the wrestling matches. I'm just the guy in the corner trying to help them do that. But doing the right things, 150 wins, like you said, is a lot. In Nick's case, we had the COVID year where he only got 20 matches. So roughly, he probably won 50 matches a year as a freshman, junior, senior. So
that's pretty impressive. Well, Coach, we got a lot more to talk about. We're going to talk a little pro wrestling too here in a little bit.
That's right.
We're going to come back. We're going to get you back to music. We're going to come back with Coach Patton, and we're going to talk pro wrestling, a little more wrestling, because it's Wrestling Wednesday here on the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. It's the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. I'm Keith Gibson, your host Monday through Friday, and it's Wrestling Wednesday. And joining me this Wednesday and every Wrestling Wednesday moving forward until he tells me he doesn't want to do it anymore is Unity Rockets coach Logan Patton. And Coach, thanks for joining us. We've talked a little bit about milestones this morning. We've talked high school football.
Yep.
Let's talk a little pro football. Boy, big weekend in divisional round. And can you believe the Lions, as a defensive coordinator, can you believe what the Commanders did to the Lions yesterday?
I cannot believe what happened. Like, I have no idea just tackle to do with the ball. I mean, Coach Fink is a Hall of Famer, and that's his last thing, just tackle to do with the ball.
It blew my mind how many turnovers they created and just how dominant they were of a Lions team that has really dominated all year long.
Yeah, you kind of thought the Lions were a team of destiny, to be honest with you. 14 and 2 or 15 and whatever it was, and number 1 seed, and kind of what they got last year. But back to those ties with Wrestling Wednesday, man. Nick Allegretti, Lincoln Way East alum, took 3rd in IHSA State, third place in wrestling. U of I alum. The wrestling guy was on the Commanders starting guard.
That's right, and a heck of a guard too.
Yeah, man, he's an awesome guard. He's a big pro wrestling. He's a big college wrestling advocate. Every year, my brother and I, his brother and him, go to NCAAs, and we get to meet up. You know what I mean? Last year I was in Kansas City, so he got to show me around the town and be awesome. A pro football player. It was kind of cool, but his wrestling roots run deep.
That's awesome, and it's cool to see though for you too, because you deal a lot with. Deal's not the right word, but you work a lot with both football players and wrestlers, and sometimes wrestling really helps guys in football, without a 100%. Doubt.
100%. I love seeing that translate with our defensive linemen. We talk a lot about just the hand fight things. You know what I mean? Guys trying to hold you, and how do you hand fight in wrestling? And I try to put it back with our offensive linemen, especially our bigger guys. You want to be able to bully somebody around a ring. You should be able to bully somebody, in the trenches. And then I sell to our DBs and our linebackers. You want to tackle a guy, no better way than just learn how to double leg somebody.
Right. That's right. So actually, what I see a lot, and you can tell me if I'm wrong here, but some of your best defensive guys are wrestlers. And your best defensive linemen are wrestlers.
I try to preach that. And like I said, CJ Langendorf's maybe our only exception. You know what I mean? But you had Nick Nosler, who's an all-state dude, an all-state wrestler. Kate Scott, state finalist. You know what I mean? All conference, everything defensive end. Micah Downs played middle linebacker for us, and Cooper Reed. The Reed family's huge name here in Unity with the state placers with Colton and his dad. You know what I mean? Both linebackers, both great tacklers.
Yeah, and it's all about the leg. It's all about that. I want to call it the dance, but it is. It's a dance, man, but it's learning how to dance the right way.
Exactly. Learning where to put your head and hand placement, how to run your feet. Exactly.
I don't think I'm going to sit. We're going to have some fun when I call this. I'm learning. I'm watching some wrestling, and I'm learning. Now let's talk a little pro wrestling here real quick before we have to get back to the music.
Yeah.
You're a big pro wrestling fan too.
100%.
Did you enjoy Raw on Netflix, the debut, and have you enjoyed it since?
Oh man, you had to enjoy it. Like you got the Undertaker coming back out. You have big match after the big match. CM Punk, Seth Rollins, kind of to finish it off. It was a cool little storyline. CM Punk never got to headline a WrestleMania, right. So it was kind of a cool headline that he got to headline the first Raw on Netflix. So that was kind of a cool tribute to him.
Now I'm a week and a half from going to the Royal Rumble, and we will take this show, the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show. We're taking it on the road for the Friday before the Rumble, and we're going to do the show in Indianapolis, which will be a first for me, so I'm looking forward to that. But I'm a big pro wrestling fan, too, as well, and I'm excited for that. But, Coach, we're going to get back to the music. We're going to have you come back, and we're going to find out what you got coming up in the next couple of weeks, so everybody can prepare, because we need to get a lot of people there to watch you wrestle. Not you wrestle, but your team wrestle. So.
Senior night coming up soon.
That's right. We're going to take a quick break, get you back to the music. We'll be back with Coach Logan Patton right here on the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. Welcome back to the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show on this Wednesday morning. It is Wrestling Wednesday. And on the Clubhouse Lounge Radio, Keith Gibson here with you. And I've got Coach Logan Patton, Unity Rockets head wrestling coach, assistant football coach, pro wrestling fan, and one heck of a nice guy. Let me tell you what, Coach, I'm glad you're here. I have fun with you on Wrestling Wednesdays. I think people are enjoying you coming on Wednesdays as well. But let's talk about what you got coming up, my friend. What do you got going on this weekend?
So we got 2 weeks left of the regular season. 2 weeks left. This week we'll travel to Fisher and wrestle Gibson City, Melvin Sibley Fisher on
Bunnies.
Thursday night. The Bunnies, yeah, they co-op with Gibson City, so we got a little Falcon Bunny co-op on Thursday.
So does that make that a duel then? Sorry.
Yep, that makes it. Yep, that's a duel. So just between two teams, it's a duel anytime that you have a tournament, that's where we'll go to on Saturday. We'll go to Oak Park River Force, back up to 3A land and go wrestle in a tournament up there.
You say Oak Park?
Oak Park, yeah.
Like Chicago Oak Park?
No, like Chicago Oak Park, yes, sir.
Well, there's a reason you guys do well. It's because you do play the bigger school. You do wrestle the bigger schools.
Yeah.
And that just makes you better.
Yeah, our guys aren't afraid to wrestle the competition. They're not afraid to take a loss. This is a good little final test before the our senior night and the state series. Like, hey, where do we need to be when the state finals come around? Where do we need to be the state tournament? What do we need to fix? Going up to Oak Park, and they do a great job of getting all these tournaments. Like Hunter Easton should wrestle the number 1 kid in 1A. He's already, or in 2A, he's already wrestled the number 1 kid in 1A and the number 1 kid in 2A at 215. So just one more battle test match that I've got circled that he needs to get, and it should be a fun weekend.
That's awesome. That's a heck of a haul, though, Coach.
It kind of helps our travel schedule. So the way we'll do it is Friday night we'll have practice. The boys will shower up in the wrestling room and they'll get fed, and then we get on the bus and head to the hotel. You know, kind of treat it as almost like a college program. You know what I mean? This is how we're going to do things, and we've done this for about 6 years now, so we've got this schedule down pat.
That's pretty awesome, though. So they'll have practice. You guys feed them too.
Yep.
Get on the bus, take the trip. They can chill out, whatever. Get at the hotel, and then because you guys start bright and early Saturday morning, right?
Yeah, bright and early. Weigh-in to be at 7. Wrestling starts at 9. The cool thing with this, man, is as after these guys get showered and get fed, they normally got some Big Ten duel on Friday night. You know what I mean? Like Illinois and Iowa was last Friday. So
right,
we got done.
I watched some of that. You'd be proud of me. I watched some of that.
That's perfect. You see our boy Luke Luffman get a dub.
I did.
Yeah, that's a Patton trained alum and a Patton trained coach now. It was cool. So after we got done with the Washington event, showered up, got on the bus to head to Sycamore, and they were just giving me the play-by-play like I was listening to it on radio. Hey, Luke's on this part, he's on this part. So it was cool that we got to watch Luke on the way up to Sycamore, and we'll do the same thing this week. Is after practice, we'll figure out what Big Ten duel's on and head up to Oak Park.
That's awesome. All right, Coach. We're going to take a break. We're going to go music. Then we'll come back, and we'll finish up the morning with you, and we'll talk about senior night. Sound like a plan?
Yes, sir.
All right. This is Coach Logan Patton, Unity Rockets wrestling coach, right here on the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show on Wrestling Wednesday on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. Wrapping up the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show on this Wrestling Wednesday. I am Keith Gibson, your host, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., and I've got with me Coach Logan Patton, Unity Rockets wrestling coach, conference champion coach. And you've got senior night coming up on the 31st. That's this coming, a week from Friday, right?
A week from Friday.
And what kind of special things do you do on senior night, Coach?
Senior night. So obviously we talked a little football today. So what I do is I grab a couple football guys that aren't wrestling guys. They've never wrestled before, but they don't do basketball, but they kind of want to still be around the camaraderie, and I make them my wrestling managers. Helps with travel stuff, having guys on the team, all that stuff. But
keeps them out of trouble too, right?
Yeah, it keeps them out of trouble. It keeps them around their buddies, right? Ryan Rink was a football captain. I let him pick out some football buddies that come out. But the deal is on senior night they have to wrestle a match, and this has been a hit, man. This has been a hit since I've been here. Started with TJ Ingram. He was a defensive end for us with Cade Scott's class, and he wrestled a senior night and got a dub. And it's electric. It's absolutely electric.
Do they wear the singlets and all?
Everything. I let them pick what singlet they want because we're kind of divas, man. We've got gray, we've got maroon, we got white.
At least you're honest, Coach.
Hey, I know, man. I've been here 8 years, and I think we have 6 or 7 different sets of singlets.
That's all right.
We get a new one every year. We like to look good, so I give the managers a choice. I say, whatever singlet you like the best, you pick it out. They got the radio going in the back, so they get their makeshift walkout song. I smack them in the head just like I smack the varsity guys in the head, and they go out there and they go scrap.
That's awesome. So 31st.
Yep.
At the Rocket Center, right?
We'll actually be in the high school gym.
High school gym. Perfect.
High school gym.
If you have no plans, get there.
Be there. Be there bright and early too, because they start the managers kick off the whole night. They make sure it's nice and loud. 4:30 start time. We'll introduce our seniors. We got 5 seniors we'll introduce, and then 2 football player wrestling matches.
And I want to talk about the seniors next week when you come on. Sound like a plan?
100%.
Let's do that and talk about them and give them some spotlight as well. Coach, good luck this weekend. Safe travels to you this weekend.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Stay warm this weekend.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But go get a couple dubs. What do you say?
I plan on it. Thank you.
Okay, Coach Logan Patton, Unity Rockets wrestling coach, Patton trained. He's there with you, too. If you have any questions wrestling, this is the man to talk to. We appreciate him coming on the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show every Wednesday. It is Wrestling Wednesdays right here on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. Coach, we'll talk to you later. Now back to the music on Clubhouse Lounge Radio.